Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this year's Coach's Corner. I'm here with Coach Ben Durham, Matt Meadows. Coach, nice to see you.
Great to be back.
Great to be back. We've got a new setting this year. I'd like to thank Lee Denny and Anna Denny for letting us use the Lake Providence Country Club. Pretty place, got a friendly backdrop here, nice fireplace, and we're going to enjoy our new stage, I think, this year very much.
Excellent environment.
Excellent environment. Coach, let's just dive right in it. Everybody's excited about football this year. We've gone many months, no football. People have been toiling away in the hot summer, preparing physically and mentally, and now here we are, a new season is upon us, and we played a scrimmage last week. You want to start off talking a little bit about scrimmage?
Yes, sir. We finally, after all that months of preparation, a new style of football that we're playing, and just having the opportunity to go out there and see what we have. They definitely stuck it to us. We had to start off with Tinsall and Rebul Academy, two of the top teams in our southern district, and we played well against Tinsall. They got a couple touchdowns on us and beat us 19-6, but we got Rebul pretty good, and we feel very good coming out of that. Having never played this style of football, to have that opportunity to do that was nice.
And tell the folks a little bit at home about this style. Were more points scored? Was there a lot more offense in this than what they're probably accustomed to seeing in this style of football?
Absolutely. You've got 8 people, 3 less people on each side of the ball, and you've got a 100-yard field.
Right.
There's just a lot of space out there.
Right.
And everything is played in that space, and you've got it just makes everything much more dynamic.
Right. Still special teams apply, punt game, kick game. All those things are the same. You just take 3 men off the field.
Probably more important,
right?
Especially kickoff and kickoff return. A lot of onside kicks and things like that. So we're going to have our work cut out for us.
And what about our team? Did they make some pretty big plays the other night in scrimmage?
We did. Matt Meadows scored about 3 touchdowns, and it was really, we played 4 quarters, 10-minute running quarters, but he had about 3 touchdowns, threw on mid, had some nice runs. Everything looked pretty good. Our offensive line needs to gel a little bit more.
Right.
And, defensively, we made some mistakes, but for the most part, coming out of it feeling pretty good, really, at everybody's health.
Right.
You don't ever want to lose somebody to scrimmage.
Well, you talk about the offensive line a little bit. I feel like they will gel, just looking at some of the experience you're bringing back this year. You want to talk a little bit about that? Some of the guys you got coming back that have played, 3 years under the belt, some of them?
Absolutely. We've got 4 returning starters off of a quarterback that rushed for about 1,500 yards a year ago. These guys got to dominate if we're going to have success. Jonathan Tanksley at center, 3-year starter, 2-year all-district. He's going to have to really dominate at this level for us to do the things that we want to do.
Right.
Both guards are back. Robert Stewart has had a very nice offseason. Looked great in 2 days. Brad McIntyre, is hopefully we can get him to make it through the whole season this year.
Right.
And then, I'll tell you what, Tyler Watley has really come into his own. A lot of hard work in the offseason and looks great. So we just need him to gel and realize that when they come off the ball, we want them to dominate every snap. Not just key plays every snap.
Well, if I'm excited about anything, it's that those guys up front this year. I think that we got a real solid offensive line for the style of football we're playing. And these guys, they're seniors, they're game savvy, and they're strong kids. So they all have the potential to dominate the line of scrimmage. I know that just really opens up everything for us.
Absolutely, and they're a fun bunch to be around.
Right. What about in your skill positions? How did those guys look the other night?
Well, Fuad Ahmed had about 20 carries. I'm not sure what he ended up with, probably a little over 100 yards. He's got a lot of quickness. He's also going to probably be our main passer. He's not a great passer, but us in the single wing type of thing, or wildcat, however you want to look at him, he's a pretty explosive player and does a great job of selling his fakes and just making plays when he gets into space. Matt Dennis at wingback is an excellent blocker. That's what he really brings to the table. Right. But he showed he could catch the ball and run it as well.
Yeah, and who threw the passes to him? Fuad. So Matt Dennis had a big game throughout. And tell the folks at home this year, you're running a single T, is that right? Single wing, which means you're going to be direct snapping to Fuad, who's primarily going to be a runner. Is that correct? Is that kind of the design of the offense?
Absolutely. The main thing is he's going to flank or sweep around the edge And if the corner comes up, we're going to throw it, and if not, we're going to run the sweep.
So he's got to run. He's got to read on every play, as opposed to a true running option to either throw or run or pass.
Well, we're going to try to read it. We're going to try to do some no huddle later in the season when we get a little bit better in shape. But as of right now, we're just kind of keeping with the run and then throwing the pass. Very seldom, just to try to catch them off guard.
And speaking of shape, based on the fact that this is a wide open type of game, or do you feel like your kids are where you want them to be conditioning wise right now, or do we still need to take it up another notch?
I think we're going to have to take it up a notch. We've only got 12 players, and the heat has been way hotter than I can even remember a year ago. It just seems like it gets hotter in Louisiana every year. But anyways, we've had a little bit of problems. We're going to have to rotate. I think that's the biggest thing. There's so much more running in this style of football, and you can't just let a guy play the whole way both ways. It doesn't work. You're going to have to rotate him.
Do you have anyone to rotate on the offensive line to give those guys a break?
We do not. We're going to rotate them on defense. We're going to rotate them on defense. I'm trying really hard to get Fuad off the defensive side of the ball so he can just focus on offense. It's going to have to be a very creative way. If one guy goes down, it really changes everything.
Right.
But we're going to try to keep him in on offense, rotate him on defense.
And what about Lane Robertson? Where are you playing him this year?
Lane is playing the fullback position. He will throw the ball some, and he's going to play middle linebacker. But in the middle linebacker, the fullback position, he's going to be used primarily as a blocker. He's the fifth lineman, so if someone gets hurt, he's going to rotate in, and then it's going to change it all up. So, but he will see some action there.
So you basically have two guys in the backfield that can run, pass, and then even block.
Absolutely.
So you have to be a very versatile play in this offense.
No question. Everybody will throw the ball. I know that probably sounds crazy, and some people probably think we're tricking people, but this is really what the single wing was designed to do, is to take advantage of all the different situations, and everything has got. We've got sweep. We've got a wedge play up the middle. We've got counter and reverse, and all those got passes off them.
Right.
And all these guys have got to run them and be able to throw.
Right. So for one thing, you've got a little bit of a learning curve in here in terms of the kids are having to learn not just a new style, but a whole new offense, and they're having to learn new reads. Is that right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it could take a couple of games really for this to sink in.
No question, and that's why I felt good about playing Tensaw.
Yeah.
They stuck it to us a little bit, 19-6, but I'll tell you what, that's our first time doing this.
Right.
They've been doing this for a while. I feel like that's the team we got to beat. So that's a good measuring stick.
And do you have any other receivers that you're going to be profiling this year besides Matt Dennis?
We've got three guys that are rotating in at the other receiver spot. Shane Sullivan had a good scrimmage that has allowed him to move up the depth chart. But we got Zach Morant, who's also going to start at defensive end, who's a very tall young man. Right now, he's never really played football, so we're going to try to focus him at defensive end. And then Neil Brown, who's got a lot of speed and can throw the ball, is going to probably play wingback and receiver.
Okay, so he'll be another one of those key versatile players.
Absolutely.
That you can move around and do some different things with.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about the defensive side of the ball. Is Coach Powers working with the defense again for you this year?
Yes, he is.
And if so, what are they working on, and what kind of defensive? Obviously, this is a new style defense too. So, what is this set? What do they call it?
We're going to play a 3-3 stack. That seems to be the most diverse for the adjustments you got to make, because in 11 man you're going to have to substitute versus what you see. If there's a 4 wide team, you might put a nickel in.
Right.
We can't always do that. So we're going to have a linebacker, move out and cover a wide receiver.
Right.
And I think it's extremely important to understand that with the 3-3 stack, that allows us to do that. If you use a 4-man line, if you move them all out on 4 wides, you got no linebacker.
Right.
So that's what we're looking to do. Our strength of our team is going to be the D line. I can't imagine that anybody has got a better defensive line than us.
I can't either. And those are the same guys: Tyler Wiley, Tanksley, Robert Stewart, and Brad McIntyre. Right? Those are.
I've had to move Brad back to linebacker, but Zach Morant's so athletic. He makes up for his lack of knowing what's going on by his just pure ability. But Robert Stewart has looked amazing at defensive end, and we've got 2 great defensive tackles. We're going to be able to rotate them there easily.
Right, and Stewart was a good defensive end for us last year.
Oh yes,
and he played with a lot of heart, and that's something that impressed me about him.
His bench has went up about 50 pounds. He's probably taken about 2 tenths off his 40.
Yeah.
he's going to be. He's got to really have a chance to be an all-district player.
He's improved a lot.